20 minutes. Please welcome them by turning on your camera. Thank you so much for sharing your story with the Scottsdale Big Book. Oh, I'm so sorry. Rajji, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Roz G. I'm a recovered compulsive overeater. I have been in the Overeaters Anonymous since 2002. My first meeting was in 1997, but I saw a bunch of thin women sitting in a circle, and I was looking for a diet. So I went to that meeting and thought, what is this? And I didn't come back to it, and so I went on another diet instead. And then I hit a bottom in 2002 and came back. And I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. But I have been abstinent for about 5 years, a little over 5 years. And I'm on my phone tonight, so I'm not going to use my finger and switch the screens around. But it's been over 5 years that I've been abstinent. And a little housekeeping. I'm coming to you from my car. I'm in Rosamond, California. It's a little town, one horse town north of Palmdale. I've been invited to a gathering tonight from a small group of people at my church, and I want to go because it's Friday night, and I love to go out on Friday nights. Most of them. Sometimes I'm tired and I need to just stay home. But OA has given me a lovely social life from so many different avenues. So I'm sitting in a parking lot. I'm in a private place. I brought my I brought my light with me so you could see me. It's actually very private, and I'm in a well-lit parking lot where there are a lot of people, and the place that I'm going is just right down the street. So I didn't want to say no to this invitation, and I didn't want to say no to that invitation. So I'm doing both. So I'm assuming that I'm going to share my experience, strength, and hope, and I'm going to. I've also lost over 80 pounds in this program. I can tell you that too. I didn't bring pictures with me in my car tonight, but I have shared pictures in the past. Um, uh, so what I'm going to do is ask God to just fill me up and share what will be helpful, especially to the newcomers, because there's quite a few newcomers here tonight. So I want to make this a message of what it was like, what happened, and what it's like today. So God, I ask you to help me to remove my ego and to give me a clear mind and a clear, strong message of experience, strength, and hope and recovery. And I ask you this to be of service, to be helpful. Thank you. All right. So I came to Overeaters Anonymous, like I said, in 1997. I had just had my first daughter, Natalie. She's 33 now, but I was fat. I just had a baby, and I felt fat. And I asked my best friend, who was in AA, who helped me, who was an Eskimo to me in the Al-Anon program. I asked her, "Is there a program for people who have problems with food?" And she said, "Yeah, I think there's an Overeaters Anonymous." So I went to Overeaters Anonymous. There was no internet at that time, or if there was, I was clueless about it, and I didn't have anything like that. But I found Overeaters Anonymous from the Al-Anon meetings I had been attending. It was like a clubhouse in the Darby meetings in the San Fernando Valley. If any of you know the San Fernando Valley, you know what I'm talking about. Um, and so I went to an OA meeting, and like I said, when I was introducing myself, it was just a circle of women talking. And I was like, where's the diet? So I didn't go back. I went on a liquid diet after that and spent a lot of money, my family's money, on that diet, which was a whole other story. But you know how diets go. uh, I tried. It was a diet where you take a bunch of pills and you drink two liquids during the day, and then you eat a full meal, and that got really boring really fast. I tried all the diets. I tried the Slim Fast diet. I tried Jenny Craig. I won't belabor the names, but I'm just telling you my story. couldn't afford Weight Watchers. I really couldn't afford Jenny Craig. I tried all those pills like the Xenadrin and the pills that were speed. I tried all that. Um, I tried this book where you eat fruit in the morning and then you combine your foods. And then I tried movie star diets. I tried Oprah diets. If you were to look at the record of the library books that I bought on diets, bought, rented, borrowed on diets, it just it trips me out. Because if you have a late book, they'll give you like, I remember, turning in books late sometimes, and there would be a record of all the books I bought, and all of them had diet heads. The Lancaster Library, I know the diet section very well. And I would just get book after book. And the reason I went to the library was because I was poor. I was in an alcoholic marriage, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years, which my husband hated that about me. He hated that I worked, that I stayed home. But I stayed home with my kids for 5 years. We had very little money. He worked two jobs, and he worked down below. He worked at near the LAX Hilton Hotel. He didn't work at that one, but close to it. And I actually went to one of the restaurants that he worked at the last birthday party. It was really special for me. I went with my sponsor and two other ladies. But that's jumping ahead. And I I got to make this 20 minutes too, so I can't talk too much about it. I just want to say that I tried all the diets, and mine were library book diets because I couldn't afford, much else. And I tried all of those diets, and they worked for about one day. Feel the Fool the Female Fat Cell. I remember that was one of the titles of the books. Fool the Female Fat Cell. Yeah, what a great title. It didn't work. Um, and so uh, life went on. Life went on. I wore. I went to a Baptist church that was very fundamental, and all the women wore dresses, and I did too. And the dresses were like this lady. There's this lady in our program that says I wore muumuus all the time. They weren't muumuus, but they were close to it, and so I could just drape the dresses over my body and hide and eat. And this church that I went to always had food. I practiced my disease of compulsive overeating at that church. And I would go to ladies' Bible studies. I'd have breakfast in the morning, go to the ladies' Bible study, and there was a whole spread of stuff, and I would eat that. Or I remember going on a retreat once at the Queen Mary. We had a ladies' retreat at the Queen Mary, and we'd have these humongous meals, like 3 meals a day and a dessert. And one night there was no dessert, and I was pissed off that there was no dessert. And one night this lady didn't finish her pasta, and my eyes just gazed over at the waitress taking away her pasta. And I was like, man, she didn't finish her pasta. I wish I could finish it for her. I mean, the thoughts that I had. I used to have Dove bars in my freezer that I would put, this is mom's, you can't touch. I used to keep Hershey bars in my coffee table next to my bed, like little Hershey candies. I used to do that. Um, and I would finish my kids' meals. They would eat, and then I would cook a pack of Farmer John sausage, give them a few, and then whatever they didn't finish, I would finish. I would finish my kids' food. I would sit and watch soap operas and eat Kraft macaroni and cheese boxes. And I did all of that. And I was overweight, and I hated myself. And I hated myself. But I was in a lonely marriage. My husband cheated on me. I found condoms in the van that we had, because he'd go down below and work we call down below Los Angeles City. I live in Los Angeles County, up in the high desert. And so we call that down below. He would go down below for a few days, be gone, and it was just me and the kids. I had three kids. I still have three kids, and I love them, and they're just so wonderful. They're adults now, but they were kids, and I was a stay-at-home lonely mom, eating on food stamps and welfare after my husband couldn't work anymore. And I went to OA, I got a sponsor, and she told me to not eat sugar for 30 days. And I thought, I panicked. I absolutely panicked. And it was regular OA meetings, not a big book kind of thing. But there were meetings in the Lancaster, and every day there was one meeting a day. And so I went to meetings, and I heard about conventions. I never went to one. Finally, I got a sponsor in the other program. And I'll just say it, Al-Anon. I got an Al-Anon sponsor, but she was in OA too. And she was so kind, and she took me to birthday parties. So I started going to birthday parties very early in OA. And I did see Harlan talking at those birthday parties in the big book. I didn't catch on to that style though. I was, going to all kinds of other workshops, which I actually love doing today. Um, so I have to fast forward because I only have 20 minutes. So I got into a lady in the Santa Clarita meetings, which is San Fernando Valley, mentioned phone meetings. And I was like, wow, phone meetings. So I started going on the phone, and I got a sponsor. Oh, no, there was this lady in the Santa Clarita meeting who had a big book with her, and she looked so serene and so thin, and she told us about big book meetings. So I went on my dilapidated computer, and I found this big book meeting. And this person, I put my name in, and this lady called me and she said, "Hi, I'm from Big Book, blah, blah, blah. Do you need a sponsor?" What a service ethic, calling for sponsees versus looking to see what you like. This lady sponsored me, told me about these big book meetings, and then she finally said something like, well, you know what Harlan says about this. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Whoever, if there's the OA police here, sorry. Um, she said that. And she said, "Oh, there's these Vision for You meetings. You'll hear him." And so I started going to Vision for You meetings. And this is really fast forwarding a lot because I did a lot of regular OAA for a long time. And they were just talking big book. And it was the same people every day, which really kind of got on my nerves. But you know what? I really needed to hear those same people every day. I really needed to hear their message. I needed to hear it. And I started to speak up, and I got involved, and I started to I got us another sponsor from that group. And I went to their convention. And I'm kind of fast forwarding because but I got a food plan. I got a nutritionist. I still have that food plan from this nutritionist. And I had a couple of relapses because emotions got to me. But I want to come like to say what OA has done for my life. Yes, okay, yeah, I'm abstinence, but what has OA done for my life? I went back to college. I got associate's degrees. I got a bachelor's degree. I got a master's. I got a doctorate. I have a doctorate degree, and I have a career. I've had a lot of heartache when it comes to work situations and politics and nepotism and friends, getting leadership positions. And I, uh, I had a lot of heartache over that. And I had to give it to God. I did a whole talk on that on Vision for You. It's on their recordings. And I just gave my whole life to God. I said, "God, if you want me to use my leadership degree, fine. If you don't, fine. Whatever you want me to do, I will do." I'm at 61 years old now. I'm not trying to prove anything. I just want to live my life, be of service, have a wonderful social life, serve God, and be there for my parents. They're still alive. I would love to be in a romantic relationship. I'm in a program for that. I am dating again. And I'm learning how to be a partner. I'm learning about what men are like because all I had was an emotionally abusive husband. I'm learning what men are like, and I'm 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 getting so that I'm not so afraid to talk to them and to be myself. So um I where am I going to go next on this talk? Oh yeah. So I I gave over to God everything. And I got this email saying the elections are coming for department chair at work. And I said, no, I'm not going to do this because I've already had so much heartache about trying to get these jobs. And somebody nominated me. And the vice principal came into the office yesterday and he says, I have really good news for you. You've been voted department chair. I did not look for it. And it was as if God said into meditation, wait to be approached. Wait to be approached. Like I've heard a speaker in our meeting say, God speaks softly. The ego speaks loudly. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. That's my ego. When God speaks, it's like, wait to be approached. I was approached, and now I'm the department chair at my work. And I God's cut me down so much that I'm not there on an ego. I'm just there to be of service and to utilize the degree that I earned. I went to school for 3 years to earn that. And I was
Ross,
the
15
chair.
minutes. That's
Thank you.
15 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I was the chair for the Los Angeles Intergroup for 2 years, and I've learned how to be a chair. Now I can be a department chair at work because I've learned that being a chair is very difficult work. You've got strong personalities, you've got so much stuff going on, but you have to be very diplomatic if you want to get anywhere. And so I've learned that you have to have a humble heart. If you want to be a servant, people don't like ego trips. I can't stand that. Why? Because I have one. But I want to serve with humility. So I will end this last 5 minutes by saying that I really want to promote this OA conference approved book, Overeaters Anonymous conference approved book called Body Image, Body Image, Relationships, and Sexuality. It looks like that Harlan and John are going to talk like that when you guys, talk about this and have a workshop when you have the retreat there. But there's really good stuff in here about body image. I did a talk on that at the birthday party, and God gave me this body. I have a little pooch here because I had 3 children and one of them was an emergency C-section, and I'll always have it. And I don't care what you think about it. It's a part of my body. So it's there, and I'm not doing anything about it. I'm not getting surgery. It's part of me. And I'm not in a romantic relationship, but I am dating people, and I am talking to guys again, and it feels really good. But I have standards, and I have a dating plan, like a food plan. I have a dating plan, and there are certain things that will not match with me, and it's really safe. It's as safe as a food plan, and so I'm very excited about that. I'm working steps in this area in my life because once the food is down, all these other things come up. All these other things come up. Like I dance, I have a dance team that I belong to, and my body's in shape for it. And I'm really glad about that. I'm very involved in my church and I sing in the choir. I have a small group that I belong to, and I'm going to be having a meal and sitting in a hot tub with some people tonight. And I'm a master gardener. I got a master gardener certificate. And so I have a garden in my backyard, and I just planted onions, and I plant all kinds of vegetables throughout the spring. And I love eating my fresh planted vegetables. They're so delicious. God has given me a taste for natural foods that come from, in their most natural state. And I have neutrality, which I'm so grateful to God for. So I want to thank God for my recovery, for my life, for my 3 adult children who love me and support me and want me to meet somebody. They support that because my former husband died. He died of kidney disease because he took so many pills, and he couldn't filter anymore. And I really tried to make that marriage work, but it didn't. So I'm coming from my car in Rosamond, California. I've never done a talk here before, but from the magic of Zoom, we're able to, go anywhere in the world and meet with each other. So I hope that this was helpful to someone. I didn't talk a lot about, what it's like to get abstinent, but I will say it's not fun at first. It sucks. But after if you follow a food plan and you get a nutritionist and you eat what you're supposed to eat, and you abstain what you're supposed to abstain from and do what the doctor's opinion says, you will have a life beyond your wildest dreams, which is what the title of one of the books in OA. So thank you for letting me share.
Just 1 minute, Roz.
Okay, thank you. I can stay for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes after the meeting if anybody has questions for me, and then I'm going to go to my fellowship tonight. So thank you for letting me share, and I pass.
Thank you so much, Roz G. First of all, I want to make an announcement, an apology. I did not know